My name is Charlotte Hayes, and I'm 33 years old. People often say your wedding day is supposed to be the happiest day of your life. Mine almost became the most humiliating. As I stood inside the bridal suite of St. Matthew's Chapel, staring into the mirror, I barely recognized the woman looking back at me. My dress was beautiful. My makeup was perfect. But my smile was missing. Outside the door, I heard my father's voice echoing through the hallway. He wasn't even trying to whisper. "I still can't believe she's marrying a warehouse worker." A few relatives laughed. Someone replied, "He'll probably spend his honeymoon driving a forklift." More laughter. I closed my eyes. For 8 months. That was all my fiancé had heard from my family. His name was Nathan Brooks. He wasn't wealthy. He didn't own a luxury car. He didn't wear expensive suits. He worked long shifts at a logistics company. And somehow, my family believed that made him worthless. The truth was something very different. Nathan had raised his younger brother and sister after losing both parents in a terrible accident. At only 19 years old, he gave up college, worked every shift he could, paid every bill, made sure his siblings graduated. He never complained, never asked for sympathy, never blamed anyone. That quiet strength was exactly why I fell in love with him. But my family never cared about character. They only cared about appearances. My mother constantly asked him when he planned to get a real career. My sister Sabrina joked that I deserved someone richer. Even my uncles refused to take him seriously. Nathan never argued. He simply smiled. Because that's the kind of man he was. A gentle knock interrupted my thoughts. The door opened. Dad walked in. His face was completely expressionless. "Your grandfather isn't coming." I nodded quietly. He had something more important to do. I looked away. Dad folded his arms. "And neither am I." I stared at him. "What?" "I'm not walking you down the aisle." For a second, I honestly thought he was joking. Then I realized he wasn't smiling. I'm not standing in front of 200 people pretending I'm proud of this marriage. My heart sank. "Dad, it's my wedding." "So? You've made your choice." He looked directly at me. "If you insist on marrying a nobody, you can walk alone." Then he turned around, opened the door, and walked out. Without looking back. I stood there frozen. Tears filled my eyes. The wedding coordinator rushed over. "Charlotte, are you all right?" I forced a smile. "I will be." She looked nervous. "We can delay the ceremony." I slowly shook my head. "No. I'm getting married today. Even if I had to walk every step alone." A few minutes later, the church doors opened. Soft music filled the chapel. 200 guests turned toward me. Immediately, people noticed something. There was no father beside me. Whispers spread through the crowd. "Where's her dad? Did something happen?" I kept my eyes on Nathan. He stood at the altar. The moment he saw me walking alone, his smile disappeared. He understood instantly. He knew exactly what my father had done. I kept walking. One step. Then another. Trying not to cry. Halfway down the aisle, the massive wooden doors behind me suddenly opened. The music stopped. Every guest turned around. I slowly looked back. At first, I thought my father had changed his mind. But instead, 30 men and women wearing matching charcoal gray suits walked quietly into the chapel. No one recognized them. No one spoke. They formed two perfect lines along both sides of the aisle. The entire church fell silent. My father frowned. My mother looked completely confused. Then one distinguished older man stepped forward. He looked directly at my father and said, "Sir, I think you've made the biggest mistake of your life." The entire chapel fell silent. My father looked at the older man and frowned. "Do I know you?" The man smiled politely. "No, but I know the man you've spent months calling a nobody." He turned to the guests. "My name is Michael Carter, Regional Director of Northbridge Logistics." Nathan's eyes filled with tears. Michael continued, "You know Nathan as a forklift operator. We know him as the man who changed hundreds of lives." Everyone listened in silence. After losing both of his parents at 19, Nathan raised his younger brother and sister while working every shift he could. He never asked for sympathy. He simply worked harder than anyone else. Then Michael pointed toward the 30 men and women standing behind him. "Every one of these people came here voluntarily. No one was asked to come. They're here because Nathan has helped them when no one else would." One employee spoke up. "He helped me when I had nowhere to live." Another said, "He paid for my daughter's medical treatment." A third added, "He stood by me after I lost my wife." I looked at Nathan with tears in my eyes. He had never told me any of this. Michael faced my father one last time. "You judged him by his job. We judge him by his character." The entire chapel rose to its feet in applause. For the first time, my father lowered his head in shame. Nathan gently took my hands. "I love you." "I love you too," I whispered. Moments later, we became husband and wife. That day, my family learned that a person's true value isn't measured by their job title or salary. It's measured by the lives they touch. And the man they called a nobody was the one 30 strangers proudly came to honor. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next emotional story. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.